Ta-da! I'm here again. I'm bringing you AM News. In our very first story, a Ghanaian energy firm, Cybele Energy, has secured an offshore oil block in Guyana, becoming the first African operator in the country's offshore petroleum basin. The deal signed earlier this month could unlock up to 400 million barrels of oil, based on preliminary estimates. Cybele Energy paid $17 million in signing bonus and says exploration drilling could begin within a year, subject to regulatory approvals. The agreement also positions Cybele Energy as the first woman-led energy company to secure an offshore oil block outside Africa. The executive director of Cybele Energy, Beatrice Jones-Mensah Tayu, has been outlining the key milestones and the long-term revenue prospects of the partnership. Mamavi Sefakote has the rest of the story.
Executive Director of Cybele Energy, a Ghana-based hydrocarbon exploration and development company operating across emerging petroleum basins, Beatrice Jones-Mensah Tayu says the agreement marks a major milestone in the company's expansion beyond Africa. She outlined the exploration framework underpinning the newly secured offshore block at a press conference in Accra, held at the Labadi Beach Hotel to commemorate the signing of the agreement.
There's a benefit of both parties. So if you're a Ghanaian who maybe you have a skill set, possibly even a technology partner, and that's not present in Guyana, you bringing that together and working in collaboration with the Guyanese is a win-win. So you both get to benefit, and that's what this is all about, in that when we work together, only great things can come from it. Key milestones would be first to make sure that we acquire our seismic data. That would be the first milestone. Interpret your data, and then based on our work program, one of the main obligations that we have is a firm well, and which should come during the first period.
Madam Jones-Mensah Tayu also explained how the deal is expected to translate into sustained revenue, skills transfer, and shared economic benefits for both Ghana and Guyana as the project advances from exploration to potential production.
The upstream is highly capital intensive, so it's a constant injection of capital in order to get to desired results and outcomes, which we're hoping that in the future the desired outcomes would be to make a discovery. And once we make a discovery, then essentially we go into the production phase.
The agreement underscores a growing shift in global energy dynamics where African-owned companies are no longer just participants but operators on the world stage, redefining the scope of Ghana's role in the international oil and gas industry. Mamavi Sefakote's report for Joy News read to you.
Away from the oil sector, experts in Ghana's digital sector have cautioned that placing greater emphasis on meritocracy, particularly among young people, is essential to tackling the increasing cases of online scams in the country. The caution was expressed at the 35th anniversary event of Margins ID Group, a firm that delivers identity management solutions to governments and institutions, including Ghana's national identification system, the Ghana Card. There's more in the following report.
With the growing incidence of romance scams, popularly known as Sakawa, in the country, a Ghanaian digital sector expert has warned that prioritizing meritocracy, especially among young people, is crucial to addressing the menace. Speaking at the 35th anniversary celebration of Margins ID Group, a company that provides identity solutions to countries and institutions, including the Ghana Card, Founder and Chief Executive Officer Moses Baden said promoting meritocracy is key to making hard work and legitimate success more attractive to young people than cybercrime.
We don't have so far to go. All we need to do is to agree that we're going to apply a rule-driven environment, and we're going to reward hard work and meritocracy, so that people don't go into Sakawa thinking that that's what makes them rich. Because, when people have role models, they see that Chairman Positive is a very successful businessman. he's running a business, he wakes up doing, and he's making progress. So I want to be like Chairman Thursday. If they see that me, I'm some kind of Sakawa person, I go scamming people and getting dubious contracts. They say, I want to be like Moses because he has a big car. You understand me? So the role modeling has to change. The promotion of a meritocracy has to increase. Our policies for supporting local industry, they are there. They have to be implemented. We have to take the hard decisions that are market-driven.
He further stressed the need to create more opportunities for the youth, describing it as a critical step towards driving economic growth and national development.
Today, even if you are 40, people say you're a young man. You know, and people get too old, and when they have the energy, they're not given the space to do what they can do. And we need to change that. A rules-based organization that gives room for innovation and talent is what drives economies, not chronism and patronage.
As the digital space continues to expand, experts say promoting meritocracy and creating equal opportunities for young people could be a defining step in steering talent away from cybercrime and toward national development. For Joy News, Maxwell Akrobotus report, read to you.
The Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpo, has reaffirmed the NDC government's commitment to ensuring mining is carried out legally, responsibly and also without environmental destruction. Speaking at the 4th Chakale Malu Festival in Bulenge-Wa East, he highlighted the Responsible Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program launched in August 2025 as a key initiative to protect lands and rivers while creating jobs for the youth.
The 4th Chakale Malo Festival, celebrated by the chiefs and people of the Chakale Enclave in the Wa East district of the Upper West region, was held on the theme Galamsey as a threat to education and agricultural production in the Chakale traditional area, the role of traditional leaders. Paramount Chief of the Bulong traditional area, Nasir Nowulumo IV, speaking through his secretary, Kamona Yahya Sedu, noted that the team was carefully chosen to highlight the collective responsibility in combating illegal mining. He warned that if the issue of illegal mining is not urgently addressed, it has a tendency of undermining youth development, destroy the environment, and threaten food security. He therefore called on the people to support lawful and sustainable small-scale mining processes.
Though illegal mining has left visible scars on our land and water bodies, we acknowledge the encouraging progress recorded within the first 11 months of the current NDC administration. We humbly urge the government to deepen collaboration with traditional authorities and local communities to consolidate these gains.
Nasir Nowulumo IV then turned his attention to some challenges faced by the people in the road, health, electricity, and water sectors, which are holding back the development of the Chakale Enclave.
The Wa-Bulenge Road has stalled. The road from Bulenge to Duse and from Duse to Gurumbele is equally in poor condition. Additionally, the Bulenge-Olomoni Road is not motorable. The Bulenge-Chago Road, Tosa-Tisa Road, Tosa-Sogola Road, Tosa-Jerry Road, Bulenge-Kolupon Road, Kolupon-Chase Road, Chago-Jonfien Road. In effect, it means there is no motorable road in the Chakale traditional area. We would be grateful if these roads are fixed.
Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpo, who represented President John Dramani Mahama at the festival, spoke of the commitment of the government to ensuring that mining is done decently and through legal means.
Try and error manner. Let's dig here to see whether there will be gold. No. We will make sure we work through with you, go into the books, find the areas where there is gold, help you to gain enough concession and to mine in a responsible manner. so as not to destroy the environment. We are here for you. We represent you. We will work to make sure you get the best out of us, so as to save the land and the people of the ill effects of Galamsey.
Leaders from across the continent have gathered in Accra for the opening of the African Summit 2025 with a strong call for Africans to deliberately shape their own future. Discussions focused on youth empowerment, strategic partnerships and opportunities under the African Continental Free Trade Area as key drivers of Africa's next phase of growth. My colleague Rodalina Bensa has more in the following report.
Held under the theme Building a New United Africa, the inaugural summit brought together political leaders, policymakers and business executives to address Africa's development challenges. Speaking on behalf of President John Mahama, Foreign Affairs Minister Kuchetu Ablakwa urged African states to take ownership of the continent's future and fully harness the African Continental Free Trade Area after opportunities.
Africa must therefore transform itself from being passive observers to an active shaper of global outcomes. This requires united African voice, coordinated diplomacy, and collective economic action. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area, when fully implemented, has the propensity to pull millions of Africans out of poverty, create jobs for our youthful population, expand industrial capacity, and enhance Africa's bargaining power.
He cautioned that the success of AfCFTA depends on removing trade barriers, harmonizing regulations, and investing in infrastructure.
It must, however, be stressed that the success of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area will depend on our collective resolve to dismantle non-tariff barriers, invest in trade-related infrastructure, and support small and medium-sized enterprises to compete effectively across borders.
Organizers say the summit aims to align Africa's economic and political vision and mobilize coordinated African-led action at a critical moment. Rodalyn Abese's report, read to you.
Moving on, Ghana has taken a significant step toward deepening educational and cultural ties with China with the introduction of a new Chinese language curriculum for primary and senior high schools across the country. Speaking at the launch of the curriculum during the 10th anniversary celebration of the University of Cape Coast Confucius Institute, the national chairman of the National Council for Curriculum and Assessment, Professor Vincent Asamfo, explained that the initiative is aimed at strengthening bilateral relations through enhanced cultural exchange and educational cooperation. He further called for sustained teacher professional development to ensure the effective delivery of the curriculum nationwide.
The 10th anniversary celebration of the University of Cape Coast Confucius Institute and 2025 Chinese Ambassadors Awards was on a theme, a decade of cultural exchange and excellence in Chinese language education. Addressing the ceremony, the Ghana director of the institute, Professor Emmanuel Amofori, reflected on the decade-long achievements of the institute.
Over the past 10 years, our achievements speak for themselves. We have taught thousands of students, equipping them with not only Chinese language skills, but a deeper understanding of Chinese culture. We have facilitated the exchange of students and scholars, sending Ghanaian students to China and welcoming Chinese educators to Ghana, creating lifelong ambassadors of friendship. We have hosted cultural festivals where the rhythms of Fontom From dance alongside the melodies of Ihum, and where Ghanaian Kente found harmony with Chinese calligraphy. As we celebrate this decade, we look to a future with confidence and excitement. The next 10 years will bring deeper academic integration, innovation, cooperation, expanded research and scholarship, a stronger commitment to addressing global challenges through intercultural understanding.
Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Professor Dennis Wolanyo Aheto, described the Confucius Institute as a symbol of the essence of international collaboration.
CIUCC, therefore, has become a symbol of what international collaboration can showcase and can achieve when guided by mutual respect, shared goals, forward-looking, and under the right leadership and vision. Today, as we look ahead, let us reaffirm our commitment as a university and as a partnership to strengthen the institute, expand its programs, and deepen our cooperation for the next decade and beyond.
The occasion was also the launch of the new Chinese curriculum for primary and high schools. National Chairperson of the National Council for Curriculum and Assessments, Professor Vincent Asamfo, urged the institute to continue its efforts for teacher professional development.
A curriculum is only as good as its implementation. As NACA prepares to finalize and hand over this policy document, we charge the Confucius Institute to continue its support for teacher professional development. We need a cadre of Ghanaian teachers who are as proficient in teaching this curriculum as the experts here today. To the management of the Confucius Institute, your first decade has been one of establishment and growth. Let your next decade be one of integration and national impact.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Lissel Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
It's now time for some business news. Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama, is asking commercial banks to support the real sector by extending credit to productive enterprises, particularly small and medium-sized businesses. Speaking at an engagement with CEOs of commercial banks, Dr. Isiama says banks must also drive innovation that enhances financial access and inclusion across the economy. Dr. Isiama made the call following the recent reduction in the policy rate, noting that the easing in monetary conditions should translate into increased lending to businesses to support growth, job creation, and economic recovery.
According to Dr. Johnson Isiama, SMEs remain the backbone of the Ghanaian economy and play a critical role in employment generation and value creation. However, limited access to affordable credit continues to constrain their growth. He therefore urged banks to take advantage of the lower policy rate to expand financing to these businesses.
We therefore call on banks to support the real sector, to expand credit to productive enterprises, especially the SMEs, and drive innovation that enhances access and inclusion while managing risk. Let us turn this recovery we've seen so far into a financial system that is both stable and catalytic in shaping Ghana's prosperity. As we prepare to close the chapter on 2025, we must remember that this year was not the end of a journey. It was just the beginning of a new one. The work ahead will demand more discipline, greater discipline. It will demand deeper collaboration among ourselves, and it will demand a willingness to embrace innovation while preserving prudence.
The governor further encouraged financial institutions to develop innovative products and leverage digital technologies to reach underserved segments of the population, noting that inclusive finance is essential for broad-based economic development.
Well, more businesses are calling on governments to strengthen support for the private sector to help create jobs and grow the economy. According to Managing Director of Aglo Farms, Kofi Brobiche, access to affordable funding remains one of the biggest challenges facing local businesses. He spoke to Joy Business at the 2025 Ghana Outstanding Personality Awards.
Honored individuals and institutions whose leadership and innovation have made significant impact across key sectors including manufacturing, logistics, education, healthcare, and the creative art and social development. Managing Director of Aglo Farms, Kofi called on government to deepen support for the private sector.
Government, in the first place, needs to put the policy right, because the policy direction, to me, is not the best. Why are we allowing everything to come onto our market? We should make the effort to support local production. So the first thing I can talk about is that the policy direction must be made right. We cannot continue to allow people to just bring it. We need to look at a situation where we will bring our what we can produce, but things that we can produce, things that can give a job to our boys, we are bringing them in. as Christmas is coming, they have brought shiploads of this chicken just to sell. Meanwhile, the boys are crying for jobs. So we need support that will enable us expand our business. We need government at least to make available soft loans. I mean, soft, reasonable rate loans.
Events lead at Imperial Communications, Abeku Stambelson, also underscored the importance of strengthening the private sector as a driver of economic growth.
We have a lot of performing individuals, performing CEOs who we think they are doing well. So we have to celebrate them, identify and celebrate them. That's the main purpose for this event.
Held under the theme Icons of Inspiration, Architect of Legacy, the 2025 Ghana Outstanding Personality Awards brought together captains of industry, policymakers, development partners, and thought leaders committed to national transformation.
Now let's check what's happening on the commodities market. And that's it for AM News. But if you want more stories, I know a place, myjoyonline.com. My name is Denisia Pomaide. Up next is sports. Please do enjoy the rest of the show.